thing. I think she is too proud to beg. I don't see her saying just reconcile. I don't see Louie saying to her just reconcile. You should. And I really do think Melissa and Joe would. Who cares? It's not losing. How is that losing if you say, let's film together? Sounds like that's winning if the $2 million check clears the damn account. The problem is, so I do call bullshit on this. I do not think they spoke. I do think Teresa is too proud to beg and she won't do it. I just don't. And by the way, if Teresa and Melissa approach the network with this, how would that go down? I mean, hasn't this ship sailed because of you? All you tree huggers in the back, all you messy G fans in the back. What does she call you guys? I don't even know what she calls you guys. She has some name for you. The Melissas. I don't know. There is some name for the Melissa fans. I really don't know what it is, but I know Melissa has used it before. Point is, does it really matter? You're all fucking smart, whether you're Team Teresa or Team Melissa. So who the hell listening to this is going to believe that overnight we sprinkled magic, gold, and fairy dust on these two and that now they get along? That's the problem. Now we have a show that's inauthentic. Now we know it's inauthentic, but we're really going to know then. And so I think the ship has sailed. I urged you to do this a year ago, 2 years ago. You could have faked it. I know you faked it for so long. I understand that eventually the seal breaks and you can't fake it anymore. How do we get here? I don't think we can go back. I think it's too late unless we have a really long pause. But I don't think Teresa can get down on one bended knee and say, okay, let's do it. We already tried that. And I don't think Louie is going to convince her to, although he likes her being on the show. So maybe this one's an in between. But I call bullshit on the fact that they already did this. And this is now they've called a truce. Bullshit. Guys, don't believe everything you read. Please, please don't believe everything you read. And I really do believe Marge, you say I'm on her payroll now. Marge, I can give you any of the addresses you want, or it's all digital, girl. Send me some fucking gift cards. I want gift cards from Margaret Josephs. Everyone thinks I'm getting them. I want them. But here's the deal. I do believe with Marge, I do believe when Marge says, I agree with her when she says, Teresa doesn't care about anything anymore. Now, I do think, let's give a footnote, she cares about the money and she cares about all of that. But I do believe that she doesn't really care about anything except defending Louie. I think she will go down if that ship goes down. And this is all, once again, not up to Teresa. It's up to Louie. She listens to what he says. If he had any half a brain in him and cared about the wife that he loves so much, he would say, don't speak to Melissa. Don't speak to Joe. I don't give a shit about this. Fucking work it out for the $2 million. When all of this is over in 5 years, you're all going to look back when you've had so much distance, 2 years, and you're going to say, oh my God, we didn't realize how much money we actually were making at the time. See, that's just the thing. When I had another business, in this business, I run it the exact opposite. Who was it? Dolores just did an interview where she says every year she expects to get fired. That's the right attitude. I feel the same way. This might be my last show with you before you all decide you are fucking sick of me and cancel me. Like, can't really cancel me. I'm not on a network. You can't be canceled from Apple or Spotify unless you come on here and start spewing forth a whole bunch of hate, which I'm not going to do. And there's so much fluff built in my numbers. So I'll be around even if the numbers are cut in half or an eighth or whatever it is. But you understand what I mean. I am grateful every day. And I expect the whole fucking ground to fall out from underneath me with this podcast, which is the same way I ran my other business. It's just, I think that's good business sense. So I agree. I think when they look back, it's going to be, what a shame. Louie, if you love her, convince her to fucking figure this out. I don't know if it's in Teresa's hands anymore or Melissa's. I think the ship has sailed. You're not stupid tree huggers. You're not smart Melissa's people, whatever the fuck she calls you. Love you all. And this is bullshit. I don't think they talked, and I don't think they decided to call a truce. People are just making shit up. It's like fan fiction. Man, come on. Let's live in the real world, guys. Oh, this rat. There is a rat and she scurries and she's really misbehaving lately, this rat. Her name is the Tam rat. Man, she is on fire, girl. she's wilder than ever. Now, has the rat that scurries has spoken on her podcast and said that she heard that Danielle Cabral allegedly beat up her brother's wife, and this is why the brother no longer speaks to her. Melissa Gorga has reacted and said, "Wow, what? I never heard this." Tamra said, "Well, look at me. Let me puff my chest because I am a there goes the tail, a rat that scurries." Well, let me tell you something about the rat. I've had the similar situation with the rat right here behind the velvet rope. Because Tamra is now saying, she's saying on the podcast, "Well, I don't know if that's true, but that's what I heard." And there's all sorts of headlines all over that say that Tamra said that Danielle Cabral's brother doesn't speak to her because she tried to beat up the wife. Tamra has now entered the conversation and said, "That's not what I said. I have PTSD because this is exactly what she did to me when she was on Behind the Velvet Rope." Well, here is some quotes that were pulled for me. Thank you, research department. I ain't sitting there and listening to Tamra's podcast. But the headlines are Tamra Judge claims Danielle Cabral and her brother are estranged because she beat up his wife. Tamra Judge says, "That's not what I said." Let me tell you something. These are the quotes that says, let me just as Tamara interjected and said, "I had somebody reach out to me and say, I know why Danielle doesn't talk to her brother," said Tamara, "and I didn't respond to this person at all." And she went on to tell me that Danielle beat up her brother's wife allegedly. "Yeah, we heard that," said Teddy. So Tamra then clarified she doesn't know if the allegation is true. But now she said, let me repeat, "I had somebody reach out to me and say, I know why Danielle doesn't talk to her brother, and I didn't respond to this person." She went on to tell me Danielle beat up her brother's wife. So the headline, Tamra Judge claims, and now Tamra saying that's not what I said. Tamra is now dealing with a technicality where she's going to say, "I didn't say that, but I said that I heard it." I don't really see what the difference is. It's not that strange, a strong headline. Just for 1 second, we covered this in our live show. When Tamra Judge was on the Behind the Velvet Rope podcast, she said, when I asked her about Heather Dubrow, what do you think of Heather Dubrow? Period. That was the sentence. There was no leading question. There was no. Now, if you ask me, David Yontef, what I think about Heather Dubrow, I would say I think she's fucking rich as fuck. And I think I don't care how you feel, and I'm not getting political. I feel she's a great fucking mother from where I'm sitting and watching on the damn TV because I don't have kids. I don't want kids. I never